Another day, another story. NATO has condemned the violation of Romanian airspace by a Russian drone during an overnight attack on Ukraine on September 8, 2024. According to NATO Deputy Secretary General Mircea Geoană, while there is no evidence of a deliberate attack on a NATO member, such actions are considered irresponsible and potentially dangerous. Romania's Ministry of National Defense confirmed the incident, which occurred as Russian drones targeted Ukraine's Odessa region. Welcome to Tabo Eminent Channel. 2 Romanian fighter jets were scrambled to monitor the situation, although the drone left Romanian airspace after about an hour. This event follows an increase in such incidents along NATO's eastern flank, raising concerns about the broader implications of Russia's activities near NATO borders. The violation did not result in damage, but it underscored the increasing number of border incidents involving Russian drones. Following NATO's condemnation of the recent Russian drone violation of Romanian airspace, more details have emerged about similar incidents. On September 8, 2024, during a Russian drone attack on Ukraine's Odessa region, a drone entered Romanian territory, a NATO member, causing heightened concern. This is part of a growing trend of violations along NATO's eastern borders, raising security alarms across the region. Simultaneously, Latvia reported a separate incident in which a Russian military drone crashed in its eastern territory after entering from Belarus. Latvian authorities are investigating the crash, and President Edgars Rinkevics expressed concerns over the rising frequency of these events. Both incidents demonstrate Russia's expanding military activities near NATO borders, prompting discussions among NATO members about a coordinated response. These incidents come amid broader concerns about regional security, with calls for enhanced air defense measures and military cooperation within NATO to deter further Russian aggression near its borders. Latvia's president on Sunday said a Russian military drone had crashed on its territory, adding that airspace breaches had increased along NATO's eastern borders. The Baltic state, once ruled by the Soviet Union but now an EU and NATO member, has had tense relations with Moscow following independence, and ties have further deteriorated since Russia invaded Ukraine in February 2022. A Russian military drone crashed in the eastern part of Latvia yesterday. There is an ongoing investigation, Latvian President Edgars Rinkevics said on X, formerly Twitter. We are in close contact with our allies. The number of such incidents is increasing along the eastern flank of NATO and we must address them collectively, he added. Latvia's defense ministry said in a statement that the drone had flown into the country's airspace from Belarus and crashed in the municipality of Rezekne. 2 NATO members have said Russian drones violated their airspace, as one reportedly flew into Romania during nighttime attacks on neighboring Ukraine while another crashed in eastern Latvia the previous day. A drone entered Romanian territory early on Sunday as Moscow struck civilian targets and port infrastructure across the Danube in Ukraine, Romania's defense ministry said. Bucharest had deployed F-16 warplanes to monitor its airspace and issued text alerts to residents of 2 eastern regions, it added. There were no immediate reports of casualties or damage. Latvia's defense minister, Andris Spruds, later said a Russian drone fell the day before near the town of Rezekne and had likely strayed into Latvia from neighboring Belarus. NATO's outgoing Deputy Secretary General and Romania's former top diplomat said the military alliance condemned Russia's violation of Romanian airspace. Latvia's military similarly said there were no indications that Moscow or Minsk purposely sent a drone into the country. Supporters of President Vladimir Putin and his war in Ukraine were set to win gubernatorial races across Russia, according to early vote counts on Sunday, including in Kursk, where Ukrainian forces have seized control of some towns and territory. Russia's three-day local and regional elections came to an end on Sunday evening, with voters expected to elect Kremlin-backed candidates in all 21 gubernatorial races, as well as legislative assembly members in 13 regions and city council officials across the country. Results of the tightly controlled elections are already being interpreted in Russia as a vote of confidence in Putin and his operation in Ukraine, Reuters reported. The Ukrainian Air Force shot down 6 out of 8 Russia-launched drones and 2 out of 3 missiles during an attack overnight, it said on Monday. Ukraine's military said earlier that Russia had launched a drone attack on Kyiv and air defenses were engaged in repelling the strikes. 2 civilians died and 4 more suffered wounds in a nighttime Russian airstrike on the northeastern Ukrainian city of Sumy, the regional military administration reported. 2 children were among those wounded, it said. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed later on Sunday that its forces struck foreign pro-Kyiv fighters in a village on Sumy's northern outskirts. It was not immediately clear if that referred to the same attack. Ukraine's general staff said Russian troops continued to pound Sumy and the surrounding regions with airstrikes, and had launched at least 16 devastating glide bombs at the province by mid-afternoon Sunday. Russian forces shelled the city again during the day, wounding a teenager and a civilian man, the regional prosecutor's office reported. 3 more women died on Sunday after Russian forces shelled a village in the eastern Donetsk region, Governor Vadim Voloshin said on Telegram. Separately, Russian shelling killed a woman on the outskirts of Kharkiv, Ukraine's second city, in the northeast, local authorities said. Ukrainian forces attacked a fuel depot in the Volokhonovsky district of Russia's southern Belgorod region, triggering a series of fires, the regional governor said. Vyacheslav Gladkov wrote on Telegram, several reservoirs caught fire in an explosion. Firefighting crews are putting out the blaze. Gladkov also reported drone attacks on 3 other localities. Separately in the Belgorod region, 3 civilians including 2 children were reportedly injured in overnight attacks to Sunday. Gladkov said 2 residential buildings were destroyed and more than 15 buildings in total damaged. Russian forces continued to push towards the city of Pokrovsk, a key logistics hub in the east, and also ramped up attacks near the town of Kharahov further south, Ukraine's general staff reported. Russia's defense ministry said on Sunday that its troops had taken Novorodivka, a small town about 19 kilometers, 11 miles, southeast of Pokrovsk. The death toll rose to 58 from a huge Russian missile strike that blasted a military academy and nearby hospital in the eastern city of Poltava on Tuesday, regional governor Filip Cronin reported. More than 320 others were wounded. The German Chancellor, Olaf Scholz, said he and the Ukrainian President, Volodymyr Zelensky, agreed that Moscow should be included in a future peace conference aimed at ending its invasion of Ukraine. Scholz told Germany's ZDF public television on Sunday, "There will certainly be a further peace conference, and the President, Zelensky, and I agree that it must be one with Russia present." As well, Scholz called for stepped-up efforts to solve the conflict. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel.